Today, let's talk about Jeremiah 23. Christians. Jeremiah was written in 626. He was born, so 586. He was probably writing in the latter part of his life, which would be closer to 586. But at that time, the northern tribes of Israel, the house of Israel, were scattered to the four corners of the earth. And those people are in the churches for the most part. We're finding out there's a lot of publicans and harlots that will make it into the kingdom first. And the wrath of God will come upon the churches first. Jeremiah 23. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith Jehovah. So we know this is prophecy because he was writing after Israel, the northern 10 tribes were already gone. Therefore thus saith Jehovah God of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. That's in your church. That's on TikTok, YouTube. Certain men crept in unaware, changed the grace of our God into lasciviousness, and they're preaching it. Therefore thus saith Jehovah God of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock and driven them away and have not visited them. They didn't go find their brothers and sisters. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, says Jehovah. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of the countries whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, says Jehovah. That's your Christian pastors on TikTok, YouTube, whatever, in your churches. Let's skip down to verse 7. Therefore, behold, the days come, says Jehovah, that they shall no more say, Jehovah lives, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Jehovah lives, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel. The seed of the house. That is the northern 10 tribes that are scattered to the four corners. Out of the north country and from all countries whither I have driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. Yeah. Prophecy. I'll explain how I know that that is prophecy after I finish this. Let's jump down to verse 25. I have heard what the prophets say that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own hearts. They're deceiving and being deceived, which think to cause my people to forget my name. How many times have you heard Jehovah in your church? Did you get baptized in the name of Jehovah, Yeshua, and the Holy Spirit? No, you didn't. Which think to cause my people to forget my name. That's there because that's what's going to happen. By their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal, the hippie Christmas Jesus guy. Drop down to 33. Because you say that it is the Lord's burden. You say Cheez-Its took care of everything. Bad deal. Verse 33, and when this people or the prophet or a priest shall ask thee, saying, what is the burden of Jehovah? Thou shalt then say unto them, what burden? Unmerited favor. I will even forsake you, saith Jehovah. And as for the prophet and the priest and the people that shall say, the burden of Jehovah, I will even punish that man and his house. Unmerited favor. Saved by Cheez-Its. Thus shall ye say, every one to his neighbor and every one to his brother, what has Jehovah answered, and what has Jehovah spoken? From Mount Horeb. Or from, Mount Horeb. And the burden of Jehovah shall ye mention no more, for every man's word shall be his burden. Pretty plain and simple. For ye have perverted the words of the living God, of Jehovah of our hosts, our God. Thus shalt thou say to the prophet, what hath Jehovah answered thee, and what has Jehovah spoken? But since ye say the burden of Jehovah, therefore thus says Jehovah, because ye say this word, the burden of the Lord, throw all my burdens on Jesus, therefore thus saith Jehovah. And I have sent unto you, saying, ye shall not say the burden of Jehovah. Therefore, behold, I, even I, will utterly forget you, and I will forsake you, and the city that I gave you and your fathers, and cast you out of my presence. And I will bring an everlasting reproach upon you, and a perpetual shame, which shall not be forgotten. Okay, so verse 33 to the end of the chapter is talking about something that used to bother me in my 25 years of churchianity. What is blasphemy of the Holy Spirit? And I think we just read it. Go to Matthew 12.